So I'm here with Ryan Reeves from Prosperity Mortgage, and Ryan is a very excellent loan resource. I'm happy to know about because he knows about a lot of innovative programs. Because not all loan officers are the same. Some people just know one way. But what I like about Ryan, he knows a lot of ways that you can function in this home buying process in terms of a loan. And remember, when you're buying a property, you're buying the loan as much as you're buying the property in many ways because you're going to be making the payment, and that payment depends on which program you're in. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know if
Yes.
that analogy is so nice, actually, but there's more than one way to. And so I'd like to focus today maybe on people who are first-time home buyers. I know there's different
Y-
county programs and this and that, and there might be
Yep,
income limits with some of them. And so let us know, Ryan, some of what you know about first-time home buyers.
for sure. So appreciate that. I've been doing this about 22 years in our market, born and raised in Montgomery County. Work for Prosperity Home Mortgage, and we have just an array of loan products. So different, like you said, there's different lenders with different programs. I pride myself in educating clients, specifically first-time home buyers, because I feel like some lenders maybe don't do the best job with that and maybe pigeonhole people to a certain loan product. I want to see what a client's eligible for based on their criteria and then present those options. And then we can kind of help them, solidify what is going to meet their needs and what's going to work best for their particular makeup. There's a lot of programs out there for first-time home buyers. Like you said, there's county programs. So for instance, Montgomery County has an HOC program, it's called, and that allows us to actually potentially get someone into a home with zero money out of pocket. So I'm not going to say that's going to be the right fit for everybody, but there is potentially a way to get into a home with no money out of pocket. So I think
Mm.
what you'll find, John, is a lot of people, just don't know, and they think maybe they need a lot of money to get into a home, and that's not always the case. Maybe they think their credit's not good enough, and that may not be the case. So we do have some credit advantage programs. We work with credit vendors that are trustworthy that can help build a client's credit up. So if, for instance, someone's not in a position to move forward at this time, just based on credit, we can kind of put them on a path to be in a position to purchase down the road, whether that's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever it is, just to make sure we can help them with that. Forgive me, I am in my office and there's a lot of background noise. I hope you can hear me clearly here.
Yep, I can hear you.
Um, yeah, so Montgomery County HOC is one. There's also Maryland as a whole. There's the MMP program, Maryland Mortgage Program. There's a lot of programs embedded in that, a lot of different tracks. There's conventional options. There's FHA options. There's grants. There's down payment assistance, forgivable down payment assistance where you don't even make a payment for the down payment. There's some where you do make a repayment. So again, it comes back to getting a borrower's credentials, seeing what their makeup is, seeing what they're eligible for. And, that's my responsibility as a senior mortgage consultant here is to kind of go through that process and see what they're eligible for and to see if we can get them into a home. Hopefully it's into a home where it meets their budget with respect to monthly payment and cash out of pocket required to close. Um, and just speaking of that, not everybody's going to have a lot of money to put down. So like I said, we can get people into homes with little to no money out of pocket. There's also down payment assistance. And there's also, ability for a client to maybe get a gift from a family member or from an acceptable donor. So we want to work with clients to, reach home ownership. That's our main focus and goal. And that's why we do what we do. So there's
I
kind
mean,
of a broad
standardly,
scope.
yeah. I mean, standardly, you have FHA, even just the normal FHA. What's like 3.5% down,
Yeah, so
and then
technically FHA requires a 3.5% down payment, but that can come from a down payment assistance program. It can come from a gift. It can come from someone's 401k or retirement. Um, but yes, 3.5% would be the minimum for FHA, and for conventional, technically speaking, 3% is the minimum required down payment, but we can also find programs to cover that for a particular client based on their criteria.
then of course VA. Anyone who's a veteran, most people know this, but you can do no money down.
That's correct. So we kind of specialize in VA. Our owner, he's retired now, but he was a veteran, and we have, shoot, I think I'm going on 6 years now where we've saved veterans, I want to say about $5 million. So we pick up
Wow.
They cover a lot of the fees, including the appraisal. We waive all of our fees for veterans. But yes, VA is a no down payment required loan, great rates. So if someone's VA eligible, we would love an opportunity to work with them.
So I always tell people before you start looking at houses, it's actually important to line yourself up with a good loan program, because you might be looking at houses that are going to be too much for you. You also might not realize you might be able to get more house than you thought you could. So it's very important, I think, before you even start the process of looking, really sit down with someone like Ryan and really know where you're going to be able to go. And then
Yeah,
that
completely
will
agree.
determine what you look at.
Completely agree. Yeah, I think some people make the mistake, and of course they're excited. They get the thought of wanting to purchase a home, and they're looking for homes that they might not be able to afford. So I always think that the first step is to meet with a local reputable lender, and get an idea for what they can qualify and make sure it meets their budget, because we want them looking for homes that they could actually potentially submit an offer on and purchase. So definitely would be step one in my opinion. We actually take that a step further in that we're one of the few lenders that will fully underwrite a person's loan up front, so we can provide them a loan commitment letter. Also, we offer a certificate to the seller, a $10,000 certificate, letting them know that we will close on time or we will pay the seller $10,000, because the market is super competitive right now, John. So,
Right.
we want to put our buyer's offer in a position of strength. So we want to get that underwriting out of the way up front. And a lot of lenders won't do that because basically we're championing our resources, which are our processors, our underwriters, who are all on salary. We are, jeopardizing the fact that a deal may never materialize, and we're working and putting a lot of time and effort into that. And some other lenders just aren't willing to do that. But it allows us to shorten up the process and the timelines and contingencies. And when you're looking, when a seller and a listing agent are looking at two offers, and one's, already been through underwriting and approved, and another one is just, kind of through the pre-qualification process, it can help us win a contract when all things are kind of equal there. So that's a big benefit. No cost or anything for that. It's just a service we provide, and it's helped out a lot of buyers.
And again, many people are hearing about the rising interest rates, and it's true, interest rates have gone up. But if you really take the big picture historically, we'll put this graphic up in a minute. And I think it's amazing to see that actually, historically, if you look over the last 30 years, rates are still incredibly low.
Yes, I mean, I've been doing this 23 years, like I said, 22 years. So I remember rates being in, 13%, 10%. Of course, we were in such a low interest rate environment due to our economy the past few years that, rates were just incredibly low. But I agree 100%. Rates are still very low considering the history of interest rates. And we were selling homes and mortgages back then. So I think, consumers are more educated now. And of course, you want to get in at the bottom, but it's, certainly not possible at all times. But you can also, as always, refinance. So if the market ever came back, people do have the ability to refinance. And we do quite a bit of those as well to take advantage of the market if it were ever to come back.
So, what's the best way to reach you, Ryan?
Phone, call, text, email. Hopefully you can put my information on there, but
Yeah, we'll have everything down there.
I'm
Yeah.
easily searchable. I would recommend everybody work with a local reputable lender. I think I said that before, whether that's me or not. Make sure you do your research. You can easily find me out there and see my reviews and things, on Zillow, for instance. Have a very high rating because, rate's important, but service and execution is equally important in my opinion, especially on a purchase. There's a lot of companies that have come into the marketplace. A lot of them are failing right now just due to the economy, but they're built more for refinances. Some of these internet banks, internet shops that aren't local, they tend to make a lot of mistakes. So I have two offices, one in Park Potomac and one in Potomac Village, and I'm responsible for about 130 real estate agents, all different brands, but I hear all the stories. So, the majority of errors and horror stories that, people might hear are typically coming from non-local lenders. So,
Mm.
whatever you can do, find somebody that you trust and, you can work with. But yeah, my information, hopefully you can attach that. And I'm happy to have a consult with anybody. There's no cost, no pressure, just trying to educate and see if we can help you out.
Okay. Thanks so much, Ryan. And I highly recommend giving Ryan a call.
Yep, and hopefully we can do some more of these. Maybe we'll dive into a individual topic a little deeper. But that's kind of just
Sure,
an
sure.
overview there.
Okay,
Thanks a lot.
great.